If your dog has been giving you that long, quiet look lately, the kind that holds your eyes for a few seconds too long, they might be trying to tell you something they can't say out loud. Dogs hide pain better than any other animal we live with. It's not because they're brave, it's instinct, survival. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 7 silent signs your dog is secretly in pain. And number 1 is the one that breaks most owners when they finally understand what it means. Welcome back to Canine Mind World. Here's the hard truth most vets won't say directly. By the time a dog shows obvious pain, limping, whining, refusing to move, they've usually been hurting for weeks, sometimes months. Dogs don't tell us when something's wrong the way humans do. They show us, quietly. These 7 signs are the ones most owners miss. Let's start with number 7. Number 7. Your dog keeps licking the same spot. Not a full bath, not a quick clean. I mean that slow, focused licking. Always the same paw, the same hip, the same side of the belly. It might happen while you're watching TV, while you're making coffee. You notice it, you don't think much of it, and then it happens again the next day. This isn't grooming. When a dog feels pain in a specific joint or under the skin, their instinct is to soothe it with their tongue. The saliva releases enzymes that dull the sensation for a few minutes. It's the closest thing a dog has to taking an aspirin. Pay attention to where the licking happens. If it's a front paw, check the wrist and shoulder. Arthritis often starts there in dogs over 7. If it's a hind leg or hip, it's often the beginning of hip dysplasia or a strained cruciate ligament. If it's the flank or lower belly, that can point to something deeper, kidneys, bladder, or a digestive issue. And here's what most owners miss. The spot they lick isn't always where the pain starts. Pain radiates. A dog with a bad knee might lick the paw below it. A dog with a sore back might lick the hip. Watch for the pattern, not just the behavior. Now the next sign is one you've probably already seen this week, but didn't realize it was a sign at all. Number 6. The way your dog sits down, stands up, or gets into the car. This one is so subtle that owners who see it every day almost never catch it. But a vet watching your dog for 30 seconds would spot it immediately. Does your dog pause before jumping onto the sofa now, even just for a second? That little hesitation, that tiny calculation before the jump. Do they sit down in a strange, uneven way, with one hip tucked further under than the other? When they lie down, do they lower themselves in stages, front legs first, then slowly collapse the back end? When they stand up after a nap, is there a stiffness in the first few steps that melts away after a minute? These aren't quirks, they're clues. Dogs redistribute their weight to protect whatever hurts. If a back leg is sore, they'll shift more weight forward. If a shoulder is inflamed, they'll sit lopsided. If their spine is stiff, they'll use momentum instead of muscle to stand up. And remember what I promised at the start, number 1, the one that breaks most owners. We're getting there. But first, watch your own dog the next time they stand up from a nap. Notice the first 3 steps. That's your early warning system. But the next sign happens while your dog is doing nothing at all, and it's the one vets wish more owners would catch early. Number 5. Your dog is panting when they shouldn't be. Dogs pant for 3 normal reasons: heat, exercise, excitement. That's it. With the house cool and nothing going on, that panting means something, especially if it's shallow, especially if it comes and goes. Here's what's happening inside. Pain activates the sympathetic nervous system, the same system that kicks in during stress. Heart rate rises, breathing quickens, the body is bracing. You'll often see this kind of panting right after your dog lies down, not before. That's because changing position puts pressure on whatever hurts. They'll settle, pant for a minute or 2, then quiet down once the pain fades back to a dull level. Pay attention to their eyes when this happens. A dog panting from heat will have soft, relaxed eyes. A dog panting from pain will have slightly tense eyes, wider, more alert, scanning the room. And there's one more detail: the corners of the mouth. In a happy, relaxed pant, the corners are pulled back in an almost smile. In a pain pant, the corners are pulled forward, tight, flat. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. We're halfway through. And the next 4 signs are the ones most owners don't figure out until it's too late. Before we continue, keep in mind what I promised you at the start. Number 1 isn't something your dog does with their body. It's something they do with their eyes. And it's the part of this video you're going to remember tomorrow morning. Stay with me. Number 4. This one is a trap. Because when a dog starts eating slower, leaving food in the bowl, or suddenly refusing kibble they've eaten every day for years, most owners think the same thing. Sometimes that's true, most of the time it isn't. Watch how they eat, not just whether they eat. Are they chewing on one side of their mouth? That's often a cracked tooth or an abscess, common in dogs over 6, and almost invisible from the outside. Are they dropping kibble mid-bite? That's a jaw or neck issue. Are they eating the soft food but leaving the hard pieces? Same problem. Do they approach the bowl eagerly and then stop? That's the hardest one to read. It often means they're hungry, but something about eating, usually the act of lowering their head, causes discomfort. Neck pain, ear infections, even nausea can make a dog approach food and then walk away, confused by their own body. Here's a simple test I want you to try this week. Place their food bowl at chest height on a small step or box. If they eat more or faster, they've likely got neck or spine pain. If it makes no difference, the problem is in the mouth or the gut. That one test has saved thousands of dogs years of silent suffering. The next sign feels personal, almost like a betrayal, and it leads directly into the one I've been promising you, the one about the look. Number 3. Your dog pulls away when you touch them, where they used to love being touched. For years, maybe a decade, you've scratched the same spot behind their ears, rubbed their chest in that exact way, given them belly rubs on the rug every evening. And then one day, almost without warning, they flinch, they duck, they stand up and walk a few steps away. It's not that they don't love you anymore, it's that the part of their body you're touching has started to hurt, and they can't tell you with words, so they tell you with distance. Watch for the body language. A dog in pain being touched will slightly lower their head, flatten their ears back, close their mouth tight, and either freeze or move away calmly. They won't growl, they won't snap, not at first, because they love you, and their first instinct is to escape the pain without hurting the person causing it. This is the sign most owners take personally, and that hurt turns into distance. Owners pet their dog less, and by the time the real cause is found, months have passed. If your dog suddenly doesn't want to be touched somewhere specific, that spot is the diagnosis. Tell your vet exactly where. They'll thank you for it. But the next sign happens while you're sleeping, and it's one of the clearest signals of all if you know what to listen for. Number 2. Your dog is sleeping more, but they're not resting. There's a huge difference between deep sleep and pain sleep, and this is where owners get fooled, because on the surface, they look the same. A healthy dog sleeps in roughly the same position for long stretches. They shift occasionally, stretch, resettle, and go quiet. You can see the breathing slow, the muscles relax, the eyes flicker in dream phases. A dog in pain sleeps in short bursts. They change position every 10, 15, 20 minutes. They stand up, turn in a circle, lie back down, then do it again an hour later. They might sleep on the cold tile one night and the carpet the next. They'll avoid their favorite bed if the cushioning puts pressure on a sore spot. Listen to them at night. A dog in pain sighs, not the contented, settling sigh of a happy dog, a long, resigned exhale, the kind you hear from a person who can't get comfortable. But sleeping more isn't always rest. Sometimes it's exhaustion from not being able to rest. If your dog is changing positions more than 5 times an hour during what should be deep sleep, that's your signal. That's your dog telling you in the only way they can that something hurts every time they try to be still. And now, the sign I've been holding back for last. The one that changes the way you look at your dog forever. Number 1. The look. You know the one. Your dog is standing in the kitchen, or sitting by your feet, or lying on their bed across the room. And they look at you, not for food, not for a walk, not for attention. They just hold your eyes for 4 seconds, 5, longer than feels normal. And you look back, and something in you tightens, and you don't know why. That look is the most honest communication a dog has with us. When they've tried everything else, the licking, the hesitation, the restlessness, and nothing has been noticed, the last thing they can do is look at us. Directly, quietly, for as long as it takes. Dogs don't hold eye contact without a reason. In their world, a long stare is meaningful. It's a request. When a dog is in pain, and they've given up on the subtler signals, they will start to look at their person with a new kind of stillness. No tail wag, no head tilt, just a long, calm, searching gaze. Owners describe it the same way, over and over. They were trying to tell you something. They are trying. If your dog has been looking at you that way lately, longer than usual, quieter than usual, deeper than usual, don't look away. Kneel down, put your hand on their chest, and make the call you've been putting off. Because the dogs who hide pain the best are the ones who love us the most. They don't want to worry us. They don't want to be a burden. They just want us to notice. If you got this far, it's because you are the kind of owner who pays attention, who notices the quiet things. That's rare, and your dog already knows. If this helped you see your dog a little differently, consider subscribing. I make videos like this one for the people who love their dogs the quiet way. And before you go, if you've ever wondered why your dog follows you from room to room, even when nothing's happening, the next video will change how you feel about every quiet moment you spend together. It's not what most people think. Take care of them. They're trying so hard to take care of you.